Spending all my nights alone, waiting for you to go. You're the only one I want by my side when I fall asleep. Tell me what I'm waiting for.
Hey YouTube! I'm so excited to be here today. Today we are going to get into how to survive life on a low income plus a budget breakdown. You guys have been asking for this for so long. I'm going to get into this budget breakdown and hop right on into it. So first I want to talk about just being low income in general. It is 100% okay for the way that you have to live. You're doing the best you can. And once an opportunity comes for, to move up or for you to, get out of your low income, then go ahead, take that, be happy and be excited. But also don't be too hard on yourself for the situation you're in now. Always strive to be better and do better things. But if that's where you are right now and you go to work and you work your butt off and you still are barely breaking even, that's okay. A lot of other people are dealing with it and I'm actually here to help. Or also if you are stuck in a place where you're not really comfortable or you feel like you shouldn't be there anymore, but all you have is like your fast food check or whatever, and it doesn't really seem like you could survive on your own off of that. And so that's what this video is for. It's here to tell you guys it can be done and to basically explain how we did it and break down everything. Now, what I am going to start off by saying is it is not just me. If you're new here, I am married. I married my high school sweetheart, so we've been together kind of the whole process through this, which means even though we're low income, we have two incomes, which makes it a little bit easier. If you are doing it by yourself, that is going to be a little bit harder for you, but it's not impossible. So let's get into it. First, we're going to get into what our monthly budget looked like. Things are a little bit different now with our social media starting to take off a little bit, but I'm going to definitely talk about what our budget looked like for the first couple months of us having our place, actually. And I have my iPad here. Head right into the calculator app. Does the iPad not come with a calculator? Are you kidding me? Well, now we wait for the calculator app to download. So looks like we got the calculator app. Look at this. I'm gonna start off with weekly. So I would say, because our first couple months living here, I had to pay for pretty much everything off my tips until Cran could start coming, till Cran could start working and get the ball rolling. But I actually think that's perfect, so I can be able to share with you guys exactly how to do that when it's just one person. So I would say that I was bringing in, because as a server we only make about $2 or $3 per hour. For actual tips, I would say I worked 4 days a week. 2 of those days I would bring in, 2 of those days for sure, which would be weekdays, I would average around $69 a day. So we're gonna do 69 plus 2, 69 times 2, I guess I should say. That's 138. And then on the weekends I would probably average more so around 150. So for Friday and Saturday, I'll do 150 plus another 150. That's 300. So we gotta do 138 plus 300. Okay, so it looks like I was averaging about $438 a week. So thinking about my fast food experience, if you're working fast food, you're probably on a bi-weekly paycheck. So that probably means that your check would be around, and now this is if you're working 4 or 5 days, 5+ hour days. Your check every 2 weeks will probably be around $800. I'm going to tell you how I broke that down every month to ensure that rent will be paid, bills will be paid, and we'll have food. I think I'm going to break it down weekly because that's how I did things. $438, I'm I'm gonna tell you guys right away that I always took, let's say, okay, I say I average about 69. So I come home, and if we need groceries that day, for that first day that I went and made $69, I'll take that whole 69, take that grocery shopping. Now we got groceries. The next day I'll bring in $60. I'll take a 50 out of that 69 and put that up. And so what did that leave me with? About $19 to do whatever else I need to do with it. But that's the type of budgeting and sacrificing we're going to have to be making here. So if you're not ready to do that, then you're not ready to be on your own. If you're the type of person that, you know, wants to see most of their check, wants to do, you know, whatever they want to do with their check, this is not going to work for you, because like I said, I'll spend that whole first 69 on groceries. I won't see any of that. And then the second day of 69, I'll put 50 of that up. So good. Now we're at 50, you know, starting the month towards the rent. That's for the first 2 days of, you know, my work week. And then I'll go in on Friday, and that'll be my big day. I'll make around 150. So y'all already know I'm automatically take that 100 off the top and put that up. Now I got 150 saved, and I got $50 to play around with. And then the next Sunday comes when I work again. Make around 150, put 100 of that up. Now we're at 250 in savings. In just 1 week, I have another $50 to play around with, in which I probably had some of the 50 from the other day left over. And so we're kind of building our checkings too, just a tiny bit. So there we just covered groceries, saving up, and leftover money. So, and this is all for 1 week. So I would do that constantly every single week. So let's just do what our total here to see how much I make a month. I got $1,300. I don't know. So, and our rent is $1,050. Honestly, only leaves me with 314 spare dollars throughout the month. And I have to know exactly how to place those things. Like how I take the $69 and go grocery shopping. I have to make sure that I'm going to be able to make that 69 back up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so tight. Like $300 of extra money a month is not a lot to live off of. And especially when we're talking about groceries and bills. Not even just rent, but groceries and bills included. And so how I would do that is, this is just tip money. For my old job, I had checks coming in every 2 weeks. So those checks would be something petty, like $50, $70, whatever the case may be. So when those checks came, mind you, this is our first couple months living in this house. So utilities, we would get like an $8, $20, whatever the case may be. So the checks I make will automatically go up into my checkings account, so that when it was time for the utilities to come take their money, I would have like $70 on there or $90 for them to just, I would just leave on there, and let the utilities come and take their own money. So we really survived off of my tips. This $1,300 right here is what we survived off of, and things are tight. Let me tell you, like, you won't see it. You won't be eating out a lot. That's my poochie. You won't be eating out a lot. Won't be partying. Won't be having nights out. Won't be doing none of that. But once you unlock your door and walk into a home or a place that's just yours, that your hard-earned money works for, like, it's a different type of vibe. And even when you start to get to a place where you can go out and you finally balance having your place, and you're gonna be like, dang, I just want to be at home. Like, so it's definitely worth it. But I feel like sometimes I ramble on, but I'm honestly just saying to you guys, like, you have to save, and you have to save majority of your money, because that's the only way it'll happen, and especially on a low income. Like, there's nothing nobody can do for us. And I'm not saying in a way like you can't receive help, but at the end of the day, it's going to be up to us to get ourselves out of this situation. So you have to work really hard. This video is because people were asking like how I budget and how I break things down, and I just wanted to kind of talk about that. I hope I made some things clear. If I didn't, please hit me in the comments, y'all. Hit me in the comments, because what I do is, as soon as I see a YouTube comment pop up, I'm on it. I take YouTube very seriously, and especially with interacting with the few people who are watching and interacting with us, because I really appreciate you guys to go over there and watch those videos. Like, I don't have the best editing, I don't have the best channel out there. Well, I feel like I do. And you have to feel like that, especially in a world where there's so many different other creators and things like that. But I want to thank my special group, my cranberries. You guys make all this possible, and I just love you so much. I know you guys have been asking for this video, and I was trying to get it out and explain it the best I can. But when it comes to me talking, and especially like in a stance like this, I kind of start stumbling over my words or rambling off or whatever the case may be. But I really hope you guys understood that budget breakdown. I try to do the best I can, and we're talking tips, so everything's not the same. I had to go off an average. Yes, and then I want to talk about if you're in fast food, because like I said, if you're in fast food and you decide that you want your own apartment and plus you got a car, you're gonna have to do at least 5 days. And I'm just being honest with you guys. Nobody wants to spend 5 days, you know, giving all their time to a restaurant. But if you wanna be like out of the place you're at and you just need your own space, you're gonna have to work a little bit harder. Maybe pick up a few extra shifts. And because once you get into the process, they're gonna want to see that you make 3 times the rent, 3 times this. And sometimes working that extra day will save you and will help you get into a place, because it literally happened to us. Cram was working 5 days a week at a factory in our first apartment, and they told him like, I don't know. And then he was like, well, I do work this 6th day sometime and whatever. And she was like, oh, really? Well, now that you said that, things are a little different. So definitely try to work the best you can. If I can remember exactly, I used to do around 5 days a week and see around $700 checks every 2 weeks. If you get a $700 check every 2 weeks, you can afford to move out and live on your own. You can, if you get a $700 check every 2 weeks, you can afford to move and live on your own, because that is $1,400 a month. So if you can find a place in between the $700 and $800 range, which is honestly going to be pretty hard, you can do it. It's going to be pretty tight. It's going to be a lot of saving. And I would definitely look into some type of side hustle or something like that that you could do to help kind of make things easier, because you are going to have bills and you are going to have groceries. And groceries are extremely expensive nowadays. People aren't just talking or going crazy. They are extremely expensive nowadays. So that is a huge expense that you're going to have to cover. But yes, I'm not here to set people up to go do something that they're not ready for, but I'm also not going to sit here and tell you guys that you should wait 5 more years until you're this, that, third to do something. And especially because I know how it feels to be in a place where you kind of feel like the walls are closing in on you, but you can't go nowhere due to financial issues. And this video is to show you that you can do it. It's just going to take some hard work. Okay, so with this topic, I just wanted to talk about so how to spend your money. Like I said, majority of it has to be getting saved. If you're in a point where you're starting from square one and you don't even have rent yet, but you're about to start looking, then from those, let's say $700 checks, 4 of it needs to be going up. At least 4 of it. If you can do 5, then 5. But 4 of it needs to be going up, because that's the only way that you're going to get anywhere in a reasonable time. Because when you get that next check, you'll put 4 more up. Then you're at 800. Then you get your next check and you put 4 more up. And now you're pretty much good to go to start looking for a place, because you pretty much have a security deposit. So you can at least start your looking process. If you're doing it by yourself, I highly recommend an apartment first. And it's only because, and it's not because price, because get a house for dang near the same thing they're charging for apartments. But I say apartments because if you're alone, apartments covers all your yard work, all your maintenance issues, all your anything that you could really, like anything you can't really fix yourself or whatever was to go wrong in that place, You just call a number and they gonna come help you. Being in the house has showed me I need to learn how to be a plumber. I need to learn how to work on my grass. I need to know how to fix little things. I need to know how to do drywall. Like, it's just so many things that pop up that your house needs that you be like, well, gosh darn it. So I definitely recommend apartments if you're alone and you're doing this for the first time. Also, when it comes to food, do what you can afford. If you can afford to, if it's easier for you to go daily and just grab what you plan on eating that day or for that night, do that. If you find going weekly helps you, or if you find going monthly helps you. We go multiple times a month. I could probably say, I think we're probably at the grocery store once a week. But we do tend to, when we have more money, tend to get as many groceries as we can. And we also look up stores, like what store has the best prices for your meat, because meat is going to kick your butt. And I'm just being honest, I'm being real with you. Meat is going to kick your butt when it comes to groceries. And I'm not even talking ground beef and chicken. They're gonna kick your butt. So you want to be able to get those when you can afford to. If you got a friend or family with food stamps, then talk to them about, I ain't gonna say because you ain't gonna play me, but talk to them about, getting some little help. And yes, but please, if you got you a fast food job, you're a server, whatever, and you're doing more than 4 or 5 days a week, you can do it. Put your mind on it. Say, in the next 3 months, I'm going to have my own place, and get it done. I also want to talk about car payments, because insurance is huge, especially in us young folks, to have like a car payment on top of a house payment. So what I can tell you is what my dad always told me. You're going to get a car. Do not, and especially if you're low income, do not finance a car. Don't do it. And especially if you want to move sometime soon, do not finance a car. There are hundreds of cars on Marketplace, whatever, that you can look for. And yeah, you might not, and yeah, you might end up with something that, is not good, or whatever the case may be, but it's up to you to test drive the car and look into it. And I say do not finance because your bill be like $500 a month, plus you already got to pay insurance. So now you're paying $500 for your car, $300 for insurance, and you're trying to get a place. It's not going to work on a low income. It's just not going to do it. And so do not finance a car. What happened? I think stimulus. I believe it was unemployment. I got my unemployment a couple years ago, during all the COVID stuff, and I got a car off Marketplace. I believe I got that car in 2019. I still have that car. It runs. She has given us some issues. If you watch the channel, you know that no crazy major issues that couldn't be fixed. There was nothing wrong that couldn't be fixed. And so our car still rides, still gets us everywhere we need to go. And we bought it out, straight out, Facebook Marketplace. Say if you want a decent car, anything less than $2,000, I wouldn't even bother with. And I say that because you're gonna get the car, it's gonna ride you for maybe a month, and then you're gonna start getting a whole bunch of problems with it. So please, if you don't have a car yet, and if you did already finance, I'm not saying that. I guess I am saying that you made a bad decision, because even the cars that they be financing off these lots can have problems. So now you paying for a car you gotta finance, plus the insurance, plus whatever problems come up on it. Or I don't know if they covered that. I never been through it. My dad told me, and I'm telling y'all, don't finance a car. Just buy it flat out. I love our car, and it's done what it needs to do. And I literally prayed to God for a car, and he turned around and made the unemployment and everything happen for that car. And I prayed because I went through multiple cars, multiple lemons that would break down every 5 seconds. And I told him, I said, God, I need a reliable car this time. Like, please, I need it to at least last me a year. And it's going on its 3rd year. So, please, when you're looking on Marketplace, pray, ask for guidance. Take somebody with you. I bought my car from a family lady. You know what I'm saying? Look at people. If it looks like ORJ with a with a wad of money in his profile picture or whatever. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go that way. But I definitely looked for a family, like somebody trying to sell their family car, or a lady. Honestly, not saying ladies can't scam you, but that's honestly who I was looking for when it came down to buy a car. And that's who I found. It was exactly a family lady. She just said, I just got to get a bigger car. So I'm trying to get rid of this one to help pay for my new one. And boom, that's exactly what it was. And that car, when I first got her, she drove smooth as a baby's bottom. What I tell y'all, people would get in and like press the gas too hard because of how smooth that car drove. And so I really think that was a good idea. I didn't mean to go like into a 20-minute rant on how to buy a car, but I definitely want to add that in there. So what I'm going to leave with is definitely, if you're low income, you can do it. You can survive. You can have your own place. All this is at your fingertips. You just really have to work hard. If you have a cousin, a sister, a friend, or a partner who can go on this journey with you, and you guys can do it together, I would definitely recommend that. But definitely look into who you're choosing. Maybe spend more time with them. Make sure they're a person you can actually see yourself living around, because if you go into this with somebody and it doesn't work out, things can get messy really, really fast. So make sure you trust, love, and know the person that you would do this with. But I definitely recommend, if you're low income, to do it with a partner. It makes it so much easier. And also, when it comes to living on your own, you'll realize how quickly you get scared and kind of lonely. So honestly, having your own space, yeah, it's nice, but I feel like definitely having at least one other person there with you will make it all that much better. And you guys will have each other. You guys will have both incomes to make sure you survive, because there's just so many things that pop up on just a daily basis. And especially if you have animals too, like, they have to see a vet, they have to eat, they have things that they need too that is going to come up. So definitely, I'm just here to encourage you. Just because we're low income doesn't mean that we're low profile people. We are still very important, and you are important, and you are going to make it to be exactly what you want to be one day. But right now, this is your journey, and I want you to ride that journey with a smile. Sometimes it does get hard. I've been in tears about finances and money, but you have to just look around and just be blessed for what you have, honestly. And even if you are in a place where you don't technically want to be, you just have to be grateful for the roof over your head. And so take that with you, and you have to, you have to keep saving and keep working for a couple more months. Just keep that in your head. Just be blessed to have a place to stay, because there are some people sleeping outside. And honestly, when I see that, it just puts into perspective how lucky and blessed I am. Even though I may not be able to go out with friends or, spend money on designer stuff or whatever the case may be, I'm still happy, I'm loved, and I'm honestly blessed. And I couldn't ask God for any more. I'm thankful for you guys. I hope this video helped. I hope I wasn't rambling too much. And get with me in the comments. I will break down anything, answer any questions, anything you need to know. If you guys want a video on the process of finding your own place on a low income, let me know, and I can do that one too, because it is a process. It's not easy. So if you guys want that, let me know. But in the meantime, follow me on Instagram at prettygirl.kai, and make sure you sub. And also, I don't care if you in the shower, taking a nap, going to sleep, brushing hair, doing whatever, please at least play one video in the background. We are trying to get our watch hours up. So if you guys can help us out with that, and I'm going to keep on coming with the new ones to help as well. But if you could just play one of our videos in the background of while you're doing something, I really ask that you do that, because we got the subscribers, we just need the watch hours. So thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys. Make sure you check out our TikTok at Kai and Cran's World.